everybody. I'm Miss Stephanie,
And I'm Miss Lil.
and we're from the Steele Memorial Library, which is a branch of the Wayne County Public Library. And we're glad that you joined us today for another round of stories for our summer reading program, Imagine Your Story. So, Miss Lil, what do you think we're going to talk about today? What do you
I don't know,
have?
But I have this big box. What does it look like?
I don't know. It kind of looks like a treasure chest.
Let's see what's inside.
Okay,
I
let's
like
check it out.
treasures.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff in here.
There's
A pirate.
Yeah.
Wow, let's see what else we've got. Oh boy, he's got some booty in here.
Uh-oh.
He's been stealing necklaces. He's got some coins. Ooh, we even have some eye patches. Arr. So I think we're going to talk about pirates today. What do you think?
We are. Let's
All
see
right.
what books we got with us. Okay.
All right, we'll set that down. So we have a story today, and this is called A Fractured Fairy Tale. So have you guys ever heard of Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Yeah, so that's one that we're familiar with. Well, this is a fractured story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, but we know it's going to be about pirates, right?
Yes.
So our story today is Goldenlocks and the Three Pirates. How about that? And this is by April Jones Prince, and the pictures are by Stephen Salerno, and it's published by Farrar Straus Giroux. And let's see what's going to happen in this story. See if it sounds familiar, if you know Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a seaworthy sloop, there lived 3 pirates. The big one was the pilfering Papa Pirate, Arr! The medium-sized one was the menacing Mama Pirate, Aye! And the small one was the bonny baby pirate in training, Ahoy! Now Mama was cunning with a cutlass, but puzzled by pots and pans. She was clever with a cannon, but not so helpful with a hammer and nails. And her sewing, well, it was atrocious. But one morning, Mama was so terribly tired of hardtack, she decided to make gruel for breakfast. Flaming blazes, she cried, as the cooking fire flared in the galley. Blobs of burnt gruel boiled over the edge of her pot. Mama, could we hire a cook? Baby asked. She's not a very good cook,
No,
I don't think.
Obviously.
We don't need no stinking crew, Mama barked, slopping the rest of the gruel into bowls with a glare as cold as an Arctic breeze. Aye, Papa agreed. Heave ho! We'll row the dinghy ashore for fresh water while the gruel cools. And off they set. They're going to dinghy as a boat. There they go. As it happened, a handy but lonesome lass named Goldenlocks was out for a row in the same craggy harbor. She caught a whiff of Mama's gruel and was drawn to the scent like a pirate to treasure. Goldenlocks followed her nose to the largest boat, hauled her anchor overboard, and clambered onto the creaky ship. Hello, Goldenlocks called. Anyone here? Silence. Goldenlocks sighed. I was hoping for some company. But her eyes brightened as she spied the 3 bowls of gruel. There's the breakfast I smelled. I'm sure the good sailors who man this ship won't mind if I have a taste. She popped a spoonful from the big bowl into her gob. Yikes! It's hot as cannon fire, she sputtered, and nasty too. Then Goldenlocks tried the gruel in the middle-sized bowl. Yeesh! This one's cold as cave moss and tastes no better. Mm-mm. Finally, she sampled the gruel in the small bowl. It needs something. She grabbed a tin of nutmeg and added a pinch to the bowl before tasting the gruel again. Yes, to a T, just right. And most of the mess was down the hatch in an instant. Her belly now full, Goldenlocks scanned her surroundings. Never having been on a real sloop before, she was of course wildly curious. She ventured below decks, where she found 3 stools. I'm sure the fine owners of this ship won't mind if I rest for a moment, she said, settling herself on the largest stool. Yikes! It's hard as a turtle shell. Then she tried the medium-sized stool. Yeesh, it's soft as chicken feathers. That won't do. Finally, she sat down on the small stool. Yes, to a T, just right. But things were ship-shape for only an instant before the shaky stool smashed to smithereens. Ouch, said Goldenlocks, rubbing her rump. Someone ought to fix that. Finding a mallet, nails, wood, and some tar, Goldenlocks set to work. Soon the stool was sturdy as a sea chest. She's handy, yeah. Next, Goldenlocks scurried starboard, where she found 3 hammocks. Surely the kind seamen who sleep here won't mind if I take a nap after all that hammering, she said, climbing into the largest one. Yikes! This hammock is tight as a stopper knot. Then she tried the medium-sized hammock. Yeesh! This one's loose as hand-me-down breeches. Finally, Goldenlocks turned to the small hammock, torn and lying on the deck like a fallen vine. Yowza! Everything needs patching up around here. Look at that, it's laying down on the deck.
She'll have to fix everything.
She does. With a nearby needle and thread, she sewed and stitched, and the canvas was nifty in no time. She rigged the ropes and rehung the hammock. At last, Goldenlocks tumbled into the small bed. Yes, to a T, just right. She breathed and was fast asleep before you could say shut-eye. Now, you may have nearly forgotten about those 3 menacing pirates. If you climbed the rat lines to the crow's nest, you'd see that they were just now rowing back home for their morning grub. Uh-oh.
She's in trouble now.
Mm-hmm. Papa, Mama, and Bonnie Baby hoisted themselves onto the main deck and headed straight for their breakfast. Shiver me timbers! Someone's been eating me gruel, Papa boomed. Aye, someone's been eating me gruel too, Mama howled. Someone's been eating me gruel as well, Baby piped up, and most of it's in their stomach quarters. Mama leaned closer, sniffed, and stuck her finger into Baby's bowl for a taste. This has been doctored with something better than bilge water, she mumbled. I should have thought of that. That's right, good plunder. Let's find the filthy scallywag who's breached our bow, Papa thundered. He stomped below decks, followed closely by Mama and Baby. Shiver me timbers! Someone's been sitting on me stool, he roared. Aye, someone's been sitting on me stool too, Mama echoed. Someone's been sitting on me stool as well, said Baby, and they made it into a real chair. That stool didn't need no fixin', Mama growled, but under her breath she added, I could have done that. The rogue's nearby, Papa pressed. Me tattoo is tingling. Papa followed the prickly sensation, slinking toward the sleeping quarters. Uh-oh. Shiver me timber, someone's been sleeping in me hammock, Papa bellowed. Aye, someone's been sleeping in me hammock too, Mama cried. Someone's been sleeping in me hammock as well, Baby shrieked with delight, and they strung it back up all good and cozy like. Mama scowled. I would have got to that, she muttered. But why is me bed bulging like a bag of gold bullion? Baby asked. Uh-oh. At that moment, Goldenlocks' eyes snapped open to find the 3 scoundrels sizing her up. Did you mend me bed? Baby asked. Did you sort his stool? Papa demanded. Did you soup up me gruel? Mama questioned. How dare ye? Why, yes, Goldenlocks stammered. Everything's a bit ragged around here, you know. Someone had to fix things. She sat up, gathering a better view of her visitors. Goldenlocks gasped. Are you pirates? Where's your crew? We don't need no stinking, Papa began. But a glimmer grew in Mama's eyes. Say, lassie, she interrupted, you're handy to a T. Our family could do with a gal like you. How about turning pirate? Once upon a seaworthy sloop, there lived 4 pirates. The end. So there's Goldenlocks. She's joined the family, hasn't
It's
she?
a little different twist from
Yeah.
the Three Bears.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's kind of a fun, fractured fairy tale. All right.
Well, I have a pirate book to read too, and it's called Dirty Joe the Pirate, and it says it's a true story. And it's by Bill Harley, and the pictures are by Jack E. Davis, and the publisher is HarperCollins. So let's see what Dirty Joe does in this story. Out upon the briny deep, where the wild and wet winds blow, there sailed a cruel and evil man, the pirate Dirty Joe. He sailed upon the scummiest craft that ever left the docks. He roamed the world in 7 seas in search of dirty socks.
Ooh.
I know. His one good eye surveyed the sea, searching for some ship, and when he spied a boat out there, he'd sneer and lick his lips. All hands on deck, he ordered, there's treasure to be had. He'd shake his one fist in the air and laugh like he was mad. He'd fire a cannon across the bow and board the other craft, then make the crew take off their shoes, and with a horrid laugh, he'd tie the sailors all uptight and rob them of their socks, then lead the ship a-floundering to run upon the rocks. The socks he took from other ships, you'd be surprised to learn, he tied upon his rigging lines that stretched from bow to stern. They'd flap and flutter in the breeze, 500 little flags, and the smell that those old socks gave off was enough to make you gag. I would imagine so. Till one day, as he sailed his ship somewhere near Mandalay, his lookout spied another boat across the bay. Aha, said Joe, let's get that boat. We'll catch her now by thunder, for sure as I am Dirty Joe, there's socks there that we can plunder. The pirates cheered and set the sails to catch up with their prey. They sharpened up their knives and swords, their boat danced in the spray. But suddenly the cheering stopped, the wind it gave a moan, for on the other ship there flew a flag of skull and bones.
Uh-oh.
Another pirate ship, I think. From mast to mast, from bow to stern, flying everywhere, there flapped and snapped 500 pairs of pilfered underwear.
Oh, no.
Boxers big and boxers small, with stripes and polka dots. And tidy whities hung there too, like the ones your grandpa's got. Lined up on that other deck, armed with swords and knives, was a sight that made the men all shake for fear of their own lives. 100 pirate women waved their daggers and their swords, and a woman pirate captain yelled, "Girls, let's climb aboard."
Uh-oh.
It's Stinky Annie, someone said, and her band of smelly varmints. She captures every boat she can and takes their undergarments. Then all is lost, another said. We haven't got a chance. You can't be a pirate if you don't have underpants. You livered lily lunks of lard, lashed out Dirty Joe. What sort of pirates are you lads? That's what I want to know. We'll show them. We'll take their ship. We'll tie them up, he roared. We'll take their socks and sneakers too and throw them overboard. I don't think I want to plunder any of those. The pirates there with Dirty Joe screamed and cheered and yelled. Someone blew a whistle. Someone rang the bell. As the boats drew near, the pirates cursed and muttered, while 1,000 pairs of underwear and socks all flapped and fluttered. It's going to be a crazy battle. As their ships came closer still, Joe's men all could see that Stinky Annie was as scary looking as could be. Her mouth was twisted in a sneer, one arm was but a hook, and with her one good evil eye, she gave a withering look. She does look kind of scary,
yeah.
doesn't she? Finally, the two ships met. On the waves they rocked. Get them now, boys, Joe cried out. Take off all their socks. But even as the men attacked the women waiting there, Stinky Ann called to her one crew, Girls, get their underwear. It was an awful battle, a loud and raucous fray. At first, it seemed that Dirty Joe would win and have his way, until Joe's first mate noticed that Stinky Annie's crew all were fighting barefoot. They had no socks or shoes. "What's the point?" a man called out. "Why make all this fuss? If we can't get their dirty socks, then what's in it for us?" "No," screamed Joe, "don't give up now." But he spoke the words too late, and Stinky Annie and her crew quickly sealed their fate. Stinky Annie came aboard and cornered Dirty Joe. She said, "I want your boxers now, in case you didn't know." Then Dirty Joe looked up and said, "Before you have your fun, your face looks quite familiar. You remind me of someone." So they look a little alike.
They do,
don't they? Stinky Annie lowered her sword. They peered at one another. "Wait," she said, "I see it now. You're Joe, my little brother." "That's right," said Joe. "You're Sister Ann. You bounced me on your knee. Put down your sword. Give up this fight. Please don't do this to me." Annie gave a smile. A tear came out of her eye. All her crew looked on in awe. They'd never seen her cry. "Little Joey, how are you?" she asked. "And how have you been?" "I'm just fine, dear Sister Ann," he said, and gave a grin. Do you think they're going to make up now?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Sounds like it.
"Good," said Annie. "That's great news." Her one eye shone and danced. "Now do just what I say, you squirt. I want your underpants." "But Annie, you're my sister," Joe blubbered and he whined. "Stow it, Joey," Annie said. "I haven't got the time. Just 'cause I'm your sister, it doesn't mean I care. I'm a pirate. That's me job. I want your underwear." So Dirty Joe surrendered and did what his sister said. And when he did, it's safe to say, more than his face was red. Stinky Annie sailed away, and still she roams the seas, with her brother's boxers high above, flapping in the breeze. And Dirty Joe, he sailed home, close to the Bay of Fundy. He's not a pirate anymore, because he has no undies. That's the finish of this tale. It's silly and it's done, but there's a lesson here that I'd impart to everyone. If you've got an older sister, then I feel bad for you, 'cause just as long as she's alive, she'll tell you what to do. Do you have an older sister?
I do.
Oh, I'm the older sister in my house.
Watch out.
That was a cute story. I like
It
that
is.
one.
It's very funny. All right. Anything with underwear is always funny, though, isn't
Yes.
it?
And the socks weren't so bad either.
That's right. That's right. Well, thanks for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed our stories. I know we did. We got a good chuckle. And we will see you next time. All right. We're going to share a song with you today, and it's pretty funny, and it's all about being a pirate. So you can practice being a pirate at home with us. So it goes like this. When I was one, I sucked my thumb the day I went to sea. I jumped aboard a pirate ship, and the captain said to me, he said, "Go this way, that way, forward, backward, over the deep blue sea." When I was two, I tied my shoe the day I went to sea. I jumped aboard a pirate ship, and the captain said to me, he said, "Go this way, that way, forward, backward, over the deep blue sea." When I was three, I climbed a tree the day I went to sea. I jumped aboard a pirate ship, and the captain said to me, he said, "Go this way, that way, forward, backward, over the deep blue sea." When I was four, I slammed the door the day I went to sea. I jumped aboard a pirate ship, and the captain said to me, he said, "Go this way, that way, forward, backward, over the deep blue sea." When I was five, I took a dive, whee, splash, on the day I went to sea. I jumped aboard a pirate ship, and the captain said to me, he said, "Go this way, that way, forward, backward, over the deep blue sea. He said, go this way, that way, forward, backward, over the deep blue sea.